From surgically modified bodies to becoming a millionaire in a day business, do we even know what's real anymore? Every day we are faced with the next best thing when we're just trying to become healthier, wealthier, and happy. What the fuck is real? What the fuck is true? What the fuck are you supposed to believe about yourself and your success while trying to build something that actually lasts? Welcome to What the Fuck is Beauty Anyway, the podcast. I am your host, Jen Carrasco, founder of Raga Studio, a fitness champion, IFBB pro figure competitor, a skincare line creator, and a serial entrepreneur. Well, and I'm an overall business coach. After years of building businesses from the ground up, I am here to help you with society standards and, well, to use your beauty within to build something that is truly you and truly impactful. So now let's dive in. What is going on, guys? So I am going over the truth behind muscle building. And I think this is extremely important because there's a lot of misconceptions, and today is going to be literally truth bombs, honesty, because if you know me very well, I am completely truthful. I will tell you exactly how I feel, whether you like it or not. And it's just the way that I roll. And so we're going to go through that today. But first off, I want to start off with, how do you build muscle? This is something for men and women that I get a lot of questions on, especially, with training and my new metabolism booster program that just launched. And if you don't know about it, you should check it out. It is phenomenal. It is literally a pile of information to get you back on track to where you need to be, and the myth and the conception of diet, nutrition, and exercise. So let's start off with, how do you build muscle? So strength and muscle building can help and support every part of our body, correct? You can hardly build strength without muscle, just as you can't build muscle without strength. It goes hand in hand. The reason why I started out with this blurb is because there is so much truth to this. First and foremost, I want to talk about women versus men and about muscle building. So the fitness world is riddled with myths and misconceptions, correct? I'm sure many of you know this. Many of them, arbitrating around strength training. People are afraid to do certain exercises or certain equipment because they have read or somebody has told them something about it, blah, blah, blah. So myth. This drives me crazy. I do not want to lift heavy because I will look like a man. So whenever I hear this, I just want to vomit just a bit in my mouth because this misconception is so untrue. It is literally, get it out of your head if you've ever heard it or ever think of it. So T levels will increase in both genders following a heavy resistance training session. But females are unable to build the type of muscle men do simply because of our genetic makeup. Okay? Get this. We cannot build it. Before we get started, I want to clear up some confusion concerning those with muscle and women. So let's talk about steroids, or better known as people call them, the drug diva, correct? So this is someone who clearly is taking some sort of steroid, right? You can probably, see them at the gym. They live at the gym. They eat like a horse. This is an example of a female professional bodybuilder, right? This type of physique is not the norm. It is incredibly difficult to develop. It is impressive, and it is admirable depending on what you like, right? It is quite a bit of muscle. So I am going to be honest with myself. I typically like the girls that have the nice, sexy curves. a little bit of muscle, but are definitely more female orientated, but they kind of have that muscle tone, correct? This is the portion that I think females are sexy. So this is a lady who most likely is not on steroids and could possibly be on an extremely light dose of steroids, but who is extremely regimented in training, nutrition, and lifestyle choices, okay? This, I consider myself to fall under a little bit. I have more muscle than the average female, but definitely am very regimented on my training, my nutrition, and my lifestyle choices. And I'll get in a little bit more on the muscle building part when I'm done with kind of my whole blurb, okay? So on the other hand, we have our plain Jane girls. And our plain Jane girls, and this isn't bad, this is just somebody who has a balanced diet, is active lifestyle, and probably most of women out there, right? It just depends on your body type, but you're somebody who tends to, more or less just, work out, do some cardio, eat pretty good, and lead a basic lifestyle around that. So over my years in the fitness industry with training women and men, many women avoid weightlifting out of the fear of developing unwanted bulk. So let me let you in on a little sexy secret that all you women need to know. Pushing weights makes you sexy as fuck, okay? For similar reasons, women generally believe they need to train differently than men to achieve their desired results. But is this true? This is not true, not at all. Do men and women actually build muscle differently? So first off, before I open my big fat mouth to lay out all the details, let's just make this plain and simple. Women do not need to train differently than men, period. Now, why? I'll go into that right now. But just to say, gender is just one part of a very complex equation, okay? Based on diet and a host of genetic factors, you may or may not gain muscle mass at various speeds. Different people also gain muscle more easily in some areas of their body than others. The first thing we need to understand is that people tend to put far too much importance on gender when it comes to gaining muscle and losing weight. Now, of course, as you learned, our hormones play a huge factor, which we've explained in the last couple sessions that we went over. But this does not mean that men and women respond differently to exercise in the same ways, okay? Men tend to have more muscle fibers than women, particularly in their upper body, translating to more strength and faster metabolisms, right? Go fucking figure. So dealing with testosterone, men also have a higher level of testosterone, a muscle building hormone, than women. This difference is something I always used to calm my sisters down a bit. Now, there's no way you can put on or bulk muscle without having some extra help from supplements, aka testosterone or estrogen blockers or something to help you to gain muscle. There is no possible way. I will say this again. The truth is, however, that individual woman can vary widely in their levels of testosterone, as can men. Women may also have wide variations in their levels of estrogen, another hormone that can affect muscle and fat concentration. Now, we recognize that the above information can seem a little contradictory, so I'm going to review this again. Men do have more testosterone than women, usually, but then there should not be given as a reason to say that women cannot build muscle as much, simply before it is not always true, okay? In reality, everyone, regardless of gender, will have to conduct some sort of exercise experiments to understand how they respond to different forms of exercise. While some women may lose weight quickly and develop a slim tone look from lifting weights, some may not. Others may vary well find out that building some noticeable muscle with pushing that weight, right? Some of it, the same happens to men as well as women. So although there's patterns in how men and women as groups react to exercise, there are plenty of exceptions to the rules. So here's the solution. Try different workout methods and find what works for you and what you enjoy. If you are interested in building muscle and considerably massive muscle rather than avoiding it, well, that's a much bigger topic. And that's something I'm going to dive into right now. One thing that I do want to go over a little bit is definitely muscle training. And maybe I'll do a SoundCloud on muscle training at the end of it when I give you I'm going to give you a little blurb on my metabolism booster program. I'm going to give you a little blurb about workouts that I like, and then maybe I'll go over all of that on that. So if you are interested in checking out the metabolism booster, if you are listening to this on my podcast, let me know and I'll get you involved in the program. So I am going to talk about myself in competing. So I am a pro figure competitor. Now, I haven't competed in about a year and a half, almost 2 years due to COVID. But I was going to drop down to bikini. And the reason why is because in figure, they want me to put on another 10 pounds of muscle. Okay. Now I'm going to explain how we put on muscle as a female. Now, of course, the bodybuilding type, right? The women bodybuilders, they want to build up extreme amount of muscle. So therefore, they are definitely on a high steroid use and high everything use with supplements, honestly. And that is not what I foresee within my body. That is not what I want. So when I first started competing, I got my pro card extremely natural. I think I was on an over-the-counter estrogen blocker on my last show just to keep my muscles tight or hard. But I got my pro card naturally. And when I turned pro, I knew that I could not compete at a natural state as a pro competitor. Okay. Now, I'm going to go over things that you may not agree with. You may wholeheartedly disagree with, but I am 100% honest and truthful. And I am not going to let you think that you can get a body of your choice and look at the people on the magazines and think that they are 100% natural, because it is absolutely false. I am not saying that some people are not natural. Some people have the genetic gift to be natural, but other people overuse what can help them. And I'm going to explain this. I think that there is a point and a place in our lives for hormones. The reason why I say that is because all of the research that I have ever done, because I will never put anything in my body unless I know fully the background behind it. Now, I also have worked with doctors to regulate everything that I do to my body. Now, with competing, I have dabbled in certain types. I have dabbled in some estrogen blockers. I have dabbled in Anavar. I have dabbled with clenbuterol, which is more of a fat burner. And I have dabbled in a little bit of Winstrol, which I hate, absolutely hate it. I would never recommend that to anybody. And I have, trying to think, estrogen blockers. I've done a little bit of primobolan, a light dose of primobolan. So those are what I have definitely dived into. And I'm going to make this very, 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 very clear. Whatever I have done is literally a minute amount, okay? Women's bodies are so sensitive because we do not produce some of these hormones, correct? So our bodies will maneuver super quick to put on muscle with barely an amount, right? So if you look at my skin, you look at my face, you can see I'm completely feminine. I have no acne. I have minute facial hair. I'm just getting it because I'm getting fucking old. But I have not done an ounce of anything that would harm my body, meaning getting all of my levels tested. My levels are amazing. My bone mass is amazing. My structure is amazing. This is something that I want you guys to understand, okay? There are many people out there that hire coaches, and those coaches do not know what the hell they are doing, and they put all of these people on so much crap, okay? The crap is horrible for your body. Horrible. And you're not regulating, and it can do massive extreme harm. This is why I really wanted to do this episode, okay? Because I wanted people to understand. Now, I'm not an advocate for you to do anything. I don't want to be held responsible to do anything. I am just letting you know that in order to build some muscle as a female, and for me, I had to dabble and supplement a little, right? There's doctors out there that you can get a hold of, and you can get your testosterone levels checked. You can get your blood levels checked, and you can talk with them about what you want to achieve and what you want to do, and you can do it in a safe manner, okay? It is out there for you. I just want to let you know that I am not going to sell you some fake metabolism bullshit and tell you, look at this person. She's natural. She's on, this magazine, and she looks great and she has this muscle. When all in reality, she may be dabbling a little bit with a little bit of Anavar and estrogen blockers, okay? I want you to be aware of this. I do not want you to be filled with this envision you have to look a certain way when these people are not being honest and truthful to you. So this is my little shenanigans that I wanted to go over because I want to be honest with you guys and I want to be truthful. That is what is building a strong community about and teaching people and educating people, right? It's those things. So when I'm getting ready for a show, it is hard work. And I don't want you to think, oh, she's on this and that, and that's the reason why. That is actually BS, because those supplements and the amount of supplements that I'm on, all they're doing is helping me to keep that muscle on my body. They're really not giving me too much more muscle. But what happens is when you start to lean out as a competitor, your body tends to eat the muscle. And that's the last thing you want to do when you're stepping on stage, right? Because you want that muscle to be full on stage. So when you're training for something, I do 45 minutes of cardio a day, plus 45 minutes of strength training a day, plus I'm eating a clean diet. And, yes, I'm supplementing a little tiny bit, but a lot of the average of people will not consecutively do all of that. So I am letting you know this because I don't want you to be in like a smokescreen of what you think reality is, okay? So with that, if you guys have questions about that stuff, I can make a whole nother podcast, a whole nother blog on it to educate you a little bit on it. I just want to be honest and truthful with you, especially for those women, because I get a lot of people asking me, I really want to gain weight or gain muscle, but I don't want to look like a man. And, I see these women pushing weights and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they're gaining the muscle, and I don't want to look like that. And the reality of all of it is it really breaks down to your testosterone, your estrogen in your body, and the reality of how you can build muscle, okay? So that is the reality of the muscle building. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Thanks for tuning in this week. I will talk to you soon. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this episode. And I hope you're feeling stronger mentally and physically and ready to kick some ass. As we navigate new society norms, business and beauty breakthroughs, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that really matters. If you love this content today, Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on how to work with me at jencarrasco.com. You can also find me on all of your favorite social media platforms. Now just remember, stay mentally tough.